Obesity, heart disease, cancer and depression, they're just a few of the major health issues we face these days. And while we all know the benefits of eating well, according to our next guest, there's more to it than just gobbling our greens.
They've spent several years researching the documentary Food Matters and claim we can improve illness by making a few changes rather than taking a pill for every ill. Joining us now to explain are the nutritionists behind the documentary, James Colquhoun and Laurentine Ten Bosch. Nice to see you guys.
Good morning, guys.
This is a fascinating documentary. I imagine you've probably had your fair share of controversial comment about it. For instance, I mean, if we could just go straight into the information about cashew nuts and depression. That's a fascinating claim. Are you suggesting people stop taking your SSRI antidepressant medication and start having fistfuls of cashew nuts?
Well, what we're looking at here, James, is in the documentary we have like a lot of world leaders, nutritionists, medical doctors, surgeons, very well qualified people who have done a lot of research, and they're basically pointing out that we need to be looking at these alternatives because cashews, for example, which is brought up by one of the teachers in the film, provide the body with the equivalent amount of tryptophan, which converts into the feel-good hormone serotonin in the brain, which is the equivalent of what an antidepressant drug would do. But there's no money in promoting cashews as an antidepressant food because you can't patent a cashew and have exclusive rights to sell it in stores.
That goes to the root of what you're talking about, which is a paranoia that the pharmaceutical companies are in and about and have their roots in and about everything, and it's all about money.
Yeah, and we need to look at the economics behind the health industry to understand why a lot of these natural alternatives are not more widely known about.
A healthy world is not good for business, though, for pharmaceutical companies, though, is it? Guys, I want to take you back a few steps to how you got interested in nutritional therapy. Where did that start for you? What got you interested?
Well, we studied at the Global College of Natural Medicine in California, and we found there's so much information that we learnt that wasn't really readily available, and really we found that this should be shared with the rest of the world.
Okay, so your basic information is that good nutrition can prevent many diseases.
Well, I think what surprised us most and what really spurred us into creating the documentary is that I think a lot of people realise that if they eat well, they can prevent a lot of illnesses. I mean, that's quite reasonably well known, but what was surprising to us and what we've uncovered in our film is that eating well can, really, and detoxification processes, these multifaceted approach to natural healing, can actually reverse a lot of these diseases from, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and even depression and mental illnesses by shifting the biochemistry in the brain through what you eat. And so that's what's really
How easy is it to actually eat healthy these days? Because, of course, part of the documentary suggests that our soil is depleted.
That's right.
Well, I mean, you look at commercial agriculture, the advent of commercial agriculture, we're basically, in essence, taking a lot of the minerals out of the soil, and if those minerals aren't in the soil, the plants become suppressed in their immunity because they don't have...
deficient as well.
Yeah, and then we spray them with pesticides and herbicides to keep the bugs off them. So
the message there, that then leads into organics, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, organics and local foods, and foods that have been raised in soils that haven't been treated.
And New Zealand has a really great international reputation. We found, and even speaking to a lot of the people that were at our cinema launch in Auckland last night, that there is a lot of people looking at these permaculture productions, and biodynamic farming and organic farming and urban farming, people farming in their backyard. So
sustainability.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
One of the things that struck me watching your Food Matters was that where am I going with this? We don't know enough about food and what food can do. We don't like niacin. Tell us about niacin. That's a vitamin B, is it?
Well, niacin is actually vitamin B3.
Yeah.
And it is using nutrients in conjunction with food is very powerful because when we look at healing, we need to look at balancing the body's biochemistry because as we were talking about just in the break there, it is the body that is creating this illness, and in order to prevent the illness from continuing or spreading into other parts of the body, we need to look at stopping that from happening in the first place. And to do that, we need to balance all the vitamins and the minerals within the body through good food and, in some cases, through supplementation.
It's an incredibly compelling documentary, I've got to say. I mean, I looked at it and it was a lot of eyebrow raising, but, I really advise people to watch it. It's fascinating.
Foodmatters.tv.
Very, very cool.
Foodmatters.tv.